I want you to imagine the worst thing a creator could do for a chance at going viral. Is it humiliating other people in public for attention? Is it endangering the lives of other people for views? Or is it borderline torturing your significant other for extra stream donations? Sadly, some YouTubers were so desperate for clout that even horrific acts like this barely fazed them. That is until it landed them in prison for years. Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we'll be examining the stories behind 6 YouTubers who threw away their freedom for clout, what they did in a bid to gain virality, why they felt comfortable committing the actual crimes on camera, and where it landed them when the cameras stopped rolling. Throughout his YouTube career, Vitaly has always used other people's discomfort, shock, or annoyance as the main substance of his content. From his early days of pranking innocent bystanders for content to becoming a self-proclaimed predator catcher, Vitaly made it his entire personality to create viral content at everyone else's expense. While this sort of behavior has allowed Vitaly to gain over 10 million subscribers, it has also earned him several nights behind bars. Between 2014 and 2020, Vitaly was arrested for crimes like trespassing on the Hollywood sign, streaking during the 2014 World Cup, and illegally climbing the Great Pyramids.
Guys, I will explain in the next video what happened to me, but I just wanted to let you know, live your dreams to the fullest. It's your life, your choice. Do whatever you want. I don't want to curse because I'm in the Holy Land. I love you so much, world. Thank you, universe. Thank you, Mother Nature, for bringing me to this incredible life. Stop the war. Stop the hate. We're all equal. Thank you so much for watching.
Despite the damage to his reputation and criminal record, Vitaly rationalized that these harebrained antics were worth it since he was making money and racking up viewership. In his mind, since no one else was getting hurt, he could harass people in whatever manner he pleased. After all, the worst that could happen was another stop in jail that he'd immediately post bail for. It wasn't until Vitaly's wild antics left an innocent woman severely injured that he began to realize actions have consequences.
You know me? No, I don't know you. No, I know, but I don't know you.
You heard about me?
No.
Okay, so I'm super, I want to try to tell you this. First of all, I don't know why I wanted to be what exactly this girl for no reason. No one's gonna forgive me about this. I ruined my whole life and the whole thing.
What do you mean? What do you mean you ruined your whole life?
For no reason, I ruined my life because I just want to die.
No, don't go there. What do you do for a living?
I do for a living. I'm so successful. I'm famous.
What do you do?
Huh?
What do you do?
I got 10. You remember the Miami? You remember the so in 2012?
Yeah.
You remember the guy who dressed up as zombie chases the guys in the hood?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm famous. I have 10 million subscribers on YouTube around Vitaly. Uncensored.
Following this incident, Vitaly's career would never be the same again. The majority of his fans lost faith in him, and his attempts to carve out a new path for himself by streaming on Kick only caused more controversy, as his predator hunting content began to put people in harm's way. At this point, Vitaly was faced with a critical choice. Either stop pranks entirely and try something different, or put a new spin on his existing content. Picking the right option guaranteed him a fresh start and a way to put the past behind him. Sadly, Vitaly didn't make that choice. By the 27th of March 2025, Vitaly moved to the Philippines with the hope of reviving his streaming career by becoming a travel vlogger. At first, it seemed like Vitaly had moved away from his trademark tomfoolery, as he created content focused on helping others and exploring the beauty of the Philippines.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this was only a temporary phase. During a subsequent stream titled Vitaly Disturbing the Peace in Philippines, Vitaly reverted to his old ways.
Excuse me, madam, I'm gonna rob you if you keep walking away. I want to give you money. No? Okay. Okay, because you got a COVID mask, you liberal. Go get your vaccine. I was trying to give you money, but all right. Trying to be nicer. You. No, yes.
From threatening everyday citizens to stealing from law enforcement, Vitaly wasn't going to spare anyone during his unhinged rampage. If it got viewers to engage with his stream, then Vitaly was willing to do it. After all, the worst that could come out of it was a mild warning or another brief stay in a cushy cell, right?
I love this IRL, man. This is my new just need to find a whole bunch of clippers, because from the clips from today, there would be probably all over the net already. But anyways, I got my family, which is you guys, and we're good. That's all I need.
Unfortunately for Vitaly, his crimes weren't going to be overlooked this time. In the coming days, Filipino law enforcement would not only apprehend Vitaly, but parade him on national news.
Secretary John Vic Remulla will now make a statement.
Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat. Ito ay tungkol kay Vitaly.
Initially, Vitaly assumed that he'd only be held for a few days and deported back to America or his home country, Russia, but law enforcement had other plans. Due to Vitaly's lack of remorse and disrespect for their country, the Interior Secretary, John Vic Remulla, decided to make an example out of him, with charges like unjust vexations and attempted theft leveled against him. Vitaly is looking at more than a year in prison if convicted. In addition, it seems Vitaly's actions have forced lawmakers in the Philippines to reconsider how vloggers operate in public.
Now we have information that he may indeed be changing the law. And how did he change the law? Well, we know that with Nuisance streamers, recording others is a big issue. And we now have, and this is courtesy of GMA, an update from the National Privacy Commission of the Philippines saying vloggers must blur bystanders in posts under new NPC guidelines.
While there hasn't been any concrete news on court proceedings, rumors are going around that he might not face the full brunt of the law and possibly will be released.
The status is he has been charged, or he was indicted on 3 charges of unjust vexation, 3 counts of unjust vexation. Now, in my previous videos, we've gone over what that is in terms of a criminal violation in the Philippines, which can carry some time and some criminal punishment. And he's still currently in the Philippines. He's still currently behind bars. He's not free to go as of yet. However, and I put many asterisks on this, there has been some unconfirmed speculation, some rumors that have not been confirmed by any official channels, that some witnesses may not testify in his trial and some charges may be dropped.
Even though Vitaly might be able to regain his freedom at some point, for now he's in a living hell, and his physical transformation reflects that. He'll have to show remorse for his actions and learn not to put others in danger for views. A lesson that train enthusiast Zachary Herzler had to learn the hard way. Zachary is the type of kid who could dedicate the majority of his free time to discussing and spotting any train that goes through his home state of Nebraska. On his now deleted YouTube channel, Capital City Rail Productions, Zachary uploaded dozens of documentary-style videos detailing the condition, utility, and history of various locomotives. However, documenting trains wasn't enough for Zachary, as he soon found other ways to spice up his content. By the 21st of April 2024, Zachary uploaded what he considered his most insane video yet, and gave it the graphic title of "Loaded BNSF Arbor Collides and Derails in Bennett."
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. I would like to take the time to set the stage for the fateful incident that we will be discussing today. On Sunday, April 21st, just after 7 p.m., a empty Arbor coal train was heading back from the Nebraska City power plant. As it passed through Bennett, it had a defective coal car that it needed to be taken out of the train. The crew decides to place it in the rip track just inside of Bennett, going across the main road, between the grain elevator and the main railroad crossing. The crew did this and set a switch in a manner that they can park the car, set up a portable derailleur, and then continue their journey. Unbeknownst to them, they completely neglected to reset the switch to its original position.
Zachary went on to explain how he spotted the poorly set switch on his way from work and questioned why the crew made such a dangerous oversight. However, instead of calling for help and averting the disaster, he would set up his camera to film the ordeal.
Are they okay? Oh my god.
As soon as the video was uploaded, viewers immediately deduced that Zachary must have had something to do with the incident, with comments reading, "You are responsible for derailing this train and you will go to jail for doing so. This kid just ruined his whole life. He could have gotten the crew seriously hurt or killed. You gotta wonder what was going on in his head." And I've heard of foamers messing with switches and climbing on units, but I've never heard of someone intentionally causing a derailment for YouTube views. In his next upload, Zachary attempted to wave off these accusations by claiming he had no idea how the switch could have been set in the wrong position.
Before we begin today's video, I just wanted to say something about the comments that I've been getting on my BNSF Arbor derailment video, on how that the empty Arbor could not have placed the defective car into the rip track and then proceed on its journey, when they would have to reset the switch and hook up to at least the rear DPUs. I don't actually know exactly what happened there, because I was thinking the exact same thing as all of you guys, to be 100% honest. But I was just saying what the BNSF police officer told me. I don't know what the FRA has come out with yet, but I just wanted to clear out the air with that, so that way you all know. I'm just restating what the BNSF police told me and what a couple of rail workers told me. I have seen comments saying that it could have picked the point on the switch, which I have seen videos online of that happening.
Within the next several weeks, Zachary's YouTube channel was terminated and the accusations leveled against him would prove to be correct. After a brief investigation, law enforcement pinned Zachary as the primary suspect and charged him with 2 counts of criminal mischief for the over $300,000 in damages done to the train. Ironically, the primary piece of evidence used against him was the video uploaded to YouTube following the crash, as well as surveillance footage that showed him tampering with the railroad switch. Zachary was initially going to be tried as a teenager, but a motion filed by the prosecution elevated him to an adult status. The case is still in court as the judge is determining an appropriate sentence for such crimes. However, his lawyers are seeking a less harsh punishment due to his clean record up to this point, although it might prove difficult, since Zachary's video is the key piece of evidence used against him in court, a sorry fate that he shares with the creator Mikhailo Viktorovich Polyakov. For YouTube travel vlogger Mikhailo Viktorovich Polyakov, aka Neo-Orientalist, where he'd be going next has always been his top priority. From visiting remote areas in Afghanistan to interacting with the Taliban, Polyakov made it his mission to explore places and cultures that other creators wouldn't dare to travel to.
So you have opinions on Donald Trump?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I have been seeing the competition of
the debate.
The competition of Donald Trump and president, the current president of USA,
Biden.
Whilst Polyakov's obsession with dangerous places allowed him to garner an audience of 4,000 subscribers, it sadly led him to think it was a good idea to disturb one of the last remote tribes on Earth for a YouTube video. On the 29th of March 2025, Polyakov would set sail from Komadera Beach, India, to the highly restricted and isolated North Sentinel Island, home of the Sentinelese tribe. Due to the tribe's isolation from humanity for thousands of years and 2 previous fatal attempts of making contact, the Indian government designated it as a protected area. No one was allowed on or within 5 nautical miles of the island. However, that didn't stop Polyakov from making the 3rd attempt to make contact with the Sentinelese. Upon arriving on the island, Polyakov used a whistle to attract the attention of the tribe, but didn't interact with them directly. Instead, he opted to leave them an offering of a half-drunk Diet Coke and a coconut. Although, before he left, Polyakov made sure to take a few souvenirs. Specifically, he took some sand samples as well as footage of the island and its inhabitants. Unfortunately for Polyakov, he wouldn't get very far with said souvenirs, as Indian law enforcement apprehended him the moment he made it back to the mainland.
An American YouTuber has been arrested for illegally entering a prohibited area in India and trying to make contact with a reclusive tribe that inhabits a remote island in the Bay of Bengal. The Indian government says his actions pose a serious threat to the safety and well-being of the tribe, whose contact with outsiders is prohibited by law, in order to protect the indigenous way of life.
According to the police, Polyakov's excuse for disturbing the island was that he was in search of good content, and figured the indigenous tribe was a good place to start. This was not only selfish, but also incredibly reckless. Polyakov's presence on the island may expose the Sentinelese to a whole host of diseases and infections that their immune system has zero experience fighting. As a result, the Indian government made it a top priority to make an example out of him. They started by holding him in a police custody for 14 days, and later charged him with entering a restricted area, an offense that could land him 5 years in prison. As of this recording, there hasn't been any news regarding Polyakov's court proceedings. However, considering the severity and publicity of his actions, it's safe to say Polyakov will be getting a lot more than just a slap on the wrist. While having a clean record could get Polyakov out of serious jail time, creators like Edward Gonzalez and Roland Cepeda Jr. of the My House is Dirty YouTube channel would never be afforded the same luxury in court, especially not after spending most of their adult lives committing crimes on camera. If it's something that could either annoy, disturb, or disgust people in public, then Edward and Roland would have probably filmed themselves doing it.
Y'all don't want to sign for the packages?
Set them right there.
No, I'm saying, do you want to sign for them?
Let me see packages.
Do you want to sign
Wait a
for
minute, let me see
You're
packages.
grabbing on the stuff.
Hold on.
You're going to break it.
I can grab whatever the hell I want if it's mine. There's nothing in it.
It's not yours.
You guys are fake. Get out of here.
Don't touch
Jeff, get your guns, Jeff.
Get the guns.
Get out. Get out of here. We're calling the police right now.
You going to shoot?
Get out. No, you guys are not even real UPS. Leave the box out.
It's my property.
It's not your property. You don't work for UPS.
So how is it your property?
You're on my bullshit.
Now.
Hush!
Get
Shut
out.
your trap! Shut your trap! Shut your trap, jackass!
Get out.
For nearly a decade, this duo has terrorized anyone they encountered in public and garnered almost 400,000 subscribers before having their accounts terminated. From pretending to be Walmart employees and harassing customers, to staging public confrontations, these two basically invented the playbook for modern nuisance streamers. One of their earliest and most memorable public escapades was obstructing a whole highway to play basketball.
I think you made it. Come on, hurry up. Right here, right away, you know what I'm saying? Oh, nah, there you go we. There you go we. Look, right here, broad daylight, know what I'm saying? Traffic out here, jam-packed, this stupid as oh!
While the video garnered hundreds of thousands of views, it also earned them several months in prison and over $100,000 in fines, as police used the video to identify them for crimes previously committed.
Well, one of those two freeway basketballers was in court today, but he wasn't facing any charges related to that viral incident. Let's show you some of that new video we just got of 28-year-old Roland Cepeda, who is charged with allegedly stealing 2 expensive cameras in February. The judge denied him bond today. And you may remember Cepeda along with 25-year-old Edward Gonzalez in a viral video holding up traffic on the Gulf Freeway feeder and Broadway, where they were playing some pickup basketball with a child's hoop. Both of them recently turned themselves in on those obstruction charges. And take a look here at Gonzalez. He's facing separate theft charges for allegedly stealing 36 cameras from an Apple store at the Memorial City Mall. 36 headphones, from an Apple store at the Memorial City Mall back in April.
Sadly, this wasn't enough to dissuade them from repeating this type of behavior for views. In the preceding years, Edward and Roland would be arrested multiple times during their quest for clout, with a post reading, "I'm thankful for God blessing me with my freedom because some guys I was in the pen with aren't coming home for a long time." Even though they've continued to create inflammatory content, most social media platforms such as YouTube have done a good job of deleting their accounts as soon as new ones are made. However, bans like that wouldn't come as quickly for toxic YouTubers like Reflay, who built their career on abusing their partner. To describe Reflay, aka Stanislav Rechinak, as a talentless creator would be a gross understatement. Most of his content consists of him and friends engaging in various dangerous activities or abusing illicit substances on stream.
Bravo! Bravo!
This controversial type of content is often classified as trash streaming, and due to its popularity in certain parts of Europe, it attracts degenerate individuals looking for an easy payday. In Reflay's case, putting himself in harm's way for chat donations is the standard, but there were occasions where he turned to abusing his pregnant girlfriend, Valentina, to entertain the chat. On the 20th of December 2020, Reflay went live as usual and spent the first several minutes engaging with his viewers like a normal live streamer.
Так, еще не задонили.
However, things would take a very dark turn when someone in the chat donated $1,000 and asked Reflay to beat up his girlfriend and lock her out of their apartment. Mind you, it was several degrees below zero outside, and hypothermia can set in within just a few minutes. Blinded by money, Reflay almost immediately went to fulfill the request, but went the extra mile to take off her jacket and dump water all over her. For the next several minutes, Valentina could be heard banging on the door and screaming to be let back in. Reflay would not answer. It wasn't until her pleas for help went silent that Reflay came to her aid, but it was too late.
Валя, Зая, я переживаю, ты живая, нет? Блядь. Бля, а как мне вызвать скорую помощь? Пиздец, блядь, ребята, блядь. Я вам отвечаю, мне кажется, у нее нет даже сердцебиения, Валь. Валь, ты живая, заяц мой? Ну ты чего? Валь, ты живая, нет? Блядь, ты как мертвая, блядь, Валь.
Despite the horrific nature of what just happened, Reflay would continue the stream for another 2 hours. In the coming days, Reflay was arrested, and almost all of his social media accounts were terminated. With the concrete video evidence he broadcasted, it didn't take much work for prosecutors to convince the court to give a guilty verdict and sentence Reflay to 6 years in prison. Although, some would say that's not enough time for how careless he was with the lives of others. A sentiment that also applies to a reckless daredevil like Benz. For a while, Squeeze Benz, real name Antonio Ginestri, felt untouchable. Week after week, he and his friends would stream themselves speeding through busy New York traffic while evading law enforcement. No matter how packed the highway was or how many officers showed up, Antonio's skills behind the wheel were more than enough to escape getting captured. Even when the chase got really heated, he still found the time to taunt his pursuers. According to Antonio, his driving skills developed from being around cars and driving since he was 9 years old. From there, he gradually perfected his technique by making driving videos. Eventually, he acquired a sports car of his own and decided it would be fun to record his joyrides.
Scale of 1 to 10, how wanted would you say you are?
Probably a 10, nobody's more wanted than me.
Really?
Yeah.
That's insane.
It started like about a year ago. I got my first Benz, and I always did like little driving videos, and I never really took it to nothing. And then my boy started saying like, you know, mad people are blowing up off this, and I was just like, you know, that's just how it started.
I'm curious, like you have a Lamborghini, at one point a Mercedes-Benz, I'm sure you go through a lot of different cars. Are you going on tour and just driving people's cars all crazy? You guys getting your own cars? Like, tell me about that.
I had my own car for a bit, but then I changed it up because I did get chased a lot, so I just realized, like, you know, doing long-term rentals is just a way better route. And then obviously I don't tell these guys I'm speeding back.
Did you ever get blown up by the tour people asking what the hell happened?
They do ask, and then like I kind of just like, you know, I'm just driving the car, you know what I mean?
You mix danger, but there's also other people at risk when you do that. Innocent civilians. So what do you think about the element of danger for that?
I've been doing this since like real shit since I was 9. I used to take my dad's car out and I used to just bug out. I've been doing this for so long now that I feel like I did have some professional at it. Like, you know, niggas know like that's how I drive. There's been incidents where I've gone out with people and they try keeping up with me and they've crashed.
As you might expect, thrill-seeking antics like these gained immense attention online. Videos of Antonio ripping through traffic garnered millions of views and hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Viewers were drawn into the the image of an anonymous rebel taking exotic sports cars off the track and into the streets to pull off spectacular but dangerous stunts at high speeds. Every second Antonio was on the road was another second that could end in disaster, and the audience was just waiting for that inevitable moment. However, despite the danger, some people still wanted front row seats to the action. While Antonio was able to flee the scene this time, it wouldn't be long before the law closed in on him for good. By May 2024, NYPD's Auto Crimes Manhattan unit was able to link one of Antonio's BMWs to social media posts to track him down. Once arrested, officers also linked him to various robberies that took place months prior. However, Antonio would only spend a few months in jail before being released on bail. As of this upload, his case is still pending, and only time will tell if he'll face the full extent of the law for his crimes. To individuals like these, clout and virality are far more important than the lives and safety of the people around them. It doesn't matter who they have to hurt, embarrass, or put in a dangerous situation, as long as it gets them attention. You know what they say, clout is one hell of a drug, but you can only pray that rehabilitation behind bars would be enough to change that.